I think a smart person learns from their own mistakes, but a wise person learns from others' mistakes. And so being able to have people around me that can help me with those mistakes was really, or maybe help me not go through those mistakes or help me recover from my mistakes, was significantly like just kind of one of the best things that I ever had. My wife and I foster children, and we see the direct impact of poverty, of drugs, of honestly a completely broken and messed up system. And how can we directly impact the world and these mothers and these families and these kids that did nothing to deserve the life that they have.
What was your life like right before you got into real estate?
Ooh, okay, right before real estate. I'm coming out of a wedding photography company. So I owned a wedding photography company, but not like, oh, that's cute. Like you take photos, that's nice. And I'm really thankful. I was able to build this up to probably like top 1% of wedding photographers in the world. Probably. I spoke at conferences around the world. Really interesting. It was a really cool experience. My wife and I got to travel to every island and a bunch of countries and do that stuff. So it was good for that season of life. But then once we started like fostering kids and settling down, weddings are all like nights and weekends. And so like it just kind of sucked, honestly, to get videos of my kids being like, night night daddy, and like at that point I was like, this is not the lifestyle for me. I want to work a 9 to 5, take my kids. So I have non-negotiables now. I take my kids to school every other day, and then I pick them up from school every day. It's a non-negotiable. All my company knows if they call me at this time, I'm literally with my kids in the car. So like, don't call me.
You're speaking at events. You were running conferences.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dopamine there.
There is.
You feel pretty good about yourself. So to walk away from something where you have reputation and money, it's not a small feat. So what was that like, making that transition?
Great question. I love doing a bunch of different things, and I always have my hands in a bunch of different things. And I'm learning now to scale that down, to be really intentional and direct my life in a certain way for a vision that I have. But I was getting to that 5-year range, I guess I would say, in that business. And it just kind of got to where it was like, there's not really any more way I can go in this. It's a wedding photography company. You can't, unless I scale up the more amount of people that I have in the company and all of that, which is just like, you can only charge so much for a wedding. You can only do this. And so I came across a TikTok, and this TikTok said, hey, well, you want to make money in real estate without any credit and without any cash? And I was like, I went to my wife and I was like, babe, check this out. You should try this. And she was like, no. And I was like, all right, I'll do it. And so because of TikTok, I got introduced to like real estate wholesaling, and we took off so fast that it was a little bit scary. And then what happened after that was the market started crashing. Like the market started going down, hedge funds stopped buying, everything started like drying up. And then I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I really didn't. I had to lay off my staff. We had no more. So from July to October, 70 deals. And then from November to February, 4 deals. And so like literally jumped right off of a table, crashed and burned. And I didn't know what to do. And so I had to lay off my staff. And I remember the one thing that I knew in my heart of hearts was like, this is worth it though. Like I could have quit. I could have gone back to what I knew was comfortable. I could have gone back to wedding photographer, but like this was it. And not because like, oh, the money seems like it's good, but I think there's a unique opportunity to scale impact when you get into something that like real estate. And you can be able to build generational wealth with it. You can be able to affect the world with it. You could be able to do so many things that I was like, this is it. This is what I want to dedicate and work really hard on. So I spent the next 6 months literally head down building out SOPs. And one of the biggest ways because the reason I was able to do that was because I had people in a mastermind helping me through that. So I wasn't like on it by myself because I think a smart person learns from their own mistakes, but a wise person learns from others' mistakes. And so being able to have people around me that can help me with those mistakes was really, or maybe help me not go through those mistakes or help me recover from my mistakes was significantly like just kind of one of the best things that I ever had.
Okay, so you crash and burn. Your friends have gone different directions. So what was it like then picking the pieces back up? right? Because this is last year.
Yeah, this is 2022. Yeah, beginning of 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it all happened.
When the fund stopped buying.
Stop buying. That's right.
So then what did you do when the funds stopped buying?
This. I knew that like, this is it. It's real estate. I'm this far in it. I understand real estate. I just need to put my head down and push past this. And so for me, for the next 6 months, I just spent time searching and decide like, what is real estate wholesaling? How do I do this? And how do I actually build out systems and processes? So like, if you knew me in college or before this business, I am the outgoing, not system and processes, fly by the edge of my seat. Now, if you know me now, it's interesting. In Select, people come to me for like building out systems and processes for them. And so like, I just took on this whole role of like what I needed to be. And I use this phrase, for us, for now. So for us, for now, I needed to be in the position to where like, I'm building this thing out to have a really strong foundation so that once we have money or once we have whatever, then we can build off a solid foundation. And then I started learning a lot more about sales process. So like I started learning from you on sales and processes. I started learning from Eric Klein on sales and processes. I started learning from Rin on sales and processes and like how to build that out and what would be applicable for what we were doing. And then we went all in foreclosures. So that was June that he gave that presentation. And I would say the beginning of August, we went all in on foreclosures. And then like I built out a very robust marketing to foreclosures operation. And we scaled very quickly on that, which was really cool.
Why did you join Collective Genius?
So I am a huge fan of education. So I was an educator in other industries. And I equate education like this. I think that education is like, you know, when you travel a lot. So, and this is in the Phoenix airport. They've got those movable walkways, right? Mm-hmm. I will 100% of the time take those because I'll jump on those and then I'll look at the person next to me and look at how fast he's running. And I try to walk as slow as I can. I take really slow steps and still see he's walking super fast and I'm like this. So I know if I move my feet faster, I'm going to fly by him. Mm-hmm. Education is a lot like that. Education is like the conveyor belt at the airport where I have the experience, I have the skills, I have the information from somebody else guiding me and propelling me forward where I can work really, really hard by myself to try to figure that out. But if I'm on the back of somebody else's experience and information and knowledge, the faster I walk, the further I go, far faster than if I were able to do it by myself. And so I knew that for me to do really well in this new industry, I was going to need help.
What's the BHAG?
So our BHAG, and it's rooted on, I grew up in the hood. I grew up in LA. My mom worked so hard because I didn't just grow up in the hood. I grew up in nice parts of California because my mom worked her butt off to make sure that I was raised in a nice area. So it was just me and her all my life. She worked 2 jobs and she worked really hard to put us in good areas. And so I think we are positioned and postured in a way to be able to make a huge impact in the lives of this growing middle class that is going to turn quickly into a lower class because of the gap that's growing between the upper and the middle and the lower class. And so because of that, our BHAG is to transform the lives of 10,000 families in America by building or owning 1,000 units of affordable housing in 10 different cities around the United States. My wife and I foster children, and we see the direct impact of poverty, of drugs, of honestly a completely broken and messed up system. And how can we directly impact the world and these mothers and these families and these kids that did nothing to deserve the life that they have, as far as the kids are concerned, nothing to deserve that. How can we impact that? And for us, we feel like that's the foster care system, and that's going to be the affordable housing world. And I think you have to have enough of it or be big enough in it to actually affect it. Because like I can mail my senator and call him all I want. Mm-hmm. That's not going to make change, right? Like no. I've got to have enough. I've got to have enough pull or enough something to be able to actually make an impact. And for us, that goal is 10,000 by 2049. And I'll be, 50 something by that time. That still leaves me a ton of time to continue to make a large impact in this world. And so I want to be able to bring affordable housing to areas that like wouldn't normally have affordable housing.
If someone wanted to find out about installment method, like what is the best way for them to do that?
Yeah, so one, they could reach out. I am so happy to explain this to anybody and everybody. We also do like, a lot of times we'll do trainings on these. So I think wholesale2024.com, you can register for those trainings, but then also installmentmethod.com, I believe is the website, for us to be able to actually have like what it is and some more information on it there.
Yeah. So if you guys want to check out the next call, wholesale2024.com, or you can find out more at installmentmethod.com. So what is your why?
And I think I've talked about that. My why is directly correlated with my BHAG, right? Is to make a huge impact in affordable housing and in foster care. Now, to dive a little bit deeper, that also goes down to the why is all started with how strong, my mom's my hero. Mom's my hero. Wouldn't be here without her. Gave up a ton of opportunity in her life for me to be able to succeed. My mom's my hero. And for a bunch of kids in general, especially inner city kids, their moms are their heroes. And you hear it all the time with these athletes. Their mom's their hero. They came out of the mud with her. Like, that's just kind of how it is. And so my mom, but also with like our family.
What's your biggest regret?
Ooh. So this is also part of like the superpower. This is very interesting. Just about a lot of things that I've done in my life, I have been the worst player on the best teams. So I was a semi-pro paintballer. It's very interesting, like X-ball. I was going to play football in college, got hurt, played baseball at a top 25 D1 college. But then I was like the worst player on the top 21 D1 college. And, but going into college, this is my regret. Going into college, I played video games professionally. And
how old or when was this?
2006.
2006?
So 2005, 2006, 2007, I played a video game called Counter-Strike. And I played on the mouse and keys professionally. And so I got to college and I was playing baseball in college and my team was like, hey, we got practice today. And I'm like, I got baseball practice. Like, what am I going to do? And so the biggest regret of my life is that I chose to quit the team and continue to play baseball. And this is the year like Twitch came out, which like, my personality, I feel like I would have done pretty well on Twitch. And so this is the year Twitch came out. And so and what I know now, and we've seen stadiums fill, like just absolutely fill up with the hundreds and thousands of people to watch people play video games. And they win some 16-year-old won $5 million at a Fortnite tournament. It's crazy.
So, and here's the thing, and there's no judgment on you. Right? No judgment.
Oh, look, whatever.
Right?
I am who I am.
From what I've observed on the outside looking in, you don't have to be that great at gaming.
No.
You just have to be great on camera.
Personality.
Gaming.
Bro. Oh, yeah. That's right.
Right?
That's
so
right.
if you can talk to the camera while being significantly above average, B plus, A minus.
Steve, I still stream on Twitch sometimes.
Okay.
Which is really interesting. I'm not very popular at all.
But I'm just saying, like, you don't have to be like, you don't have to be 100%. Right?
That's right.
I think if you're like B plus, A minus gamer, right, where you win consistently, but you're not elite, but you got a personality.
That's it.
You'll do really well.
Oh, yeah.
And I think with your personality,
I would have done
I'm probably with you on that biggest regret.
That is the biggest regret of my life.